Good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Metaverse Masterminds episode 19. Episode 19. Wow, how these episodes are flying by. Great to see you all this evening. Rather blustery and cold yet again in the UK. Hope the weather's finer from where you are. Okay, guys, it's 26th of January 2024, and we've called this episode Being Mindful in the Metaverse. Now, our special guest this evening will know exactly what we're referring to. We've got two other special guests on board tonight. It's going to be a super night this evening, so I want to get straight on board and say hello to everybody on our panel. I'm getting messages from all over here, guys. This is crazy. Okay, first and foremost, Private Buddykins. Give us a wave, Buddykins. Welcome to the platform this evening. Trucker Fletch. Hi, Trucker. You're on board, yeah? Hello. Excellent. Can I hear you? Say hi, Chris. Make sure audio's working fine.
Yeah, testing 19734.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Trucker Fletch is on board with us. Next on board, we've got Winnie. Private Winnie, good evening. How are you?
Hello, I'm pretty good. Thank you.
How's Peter? Is he good?
Well, he's getting there every day a little bit. Yeah.
Excellent. As long as he's on his way up and not down, that's all that matters, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Okay, Winnie, we'll catch up with you very soon. Next on board, we've got Patricia. Good evening, Patricia, and welcome back to Metaverse Masterminds.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
How are you? Have you had a good week, Patricia?
It's been a bit iffy, actually. That's a very British phrase.
Welcome to the Metaverse.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear all about that later, Patricia. You're certainly not on your own. Okay, and next on the panel, we've got B12. Good evening, B. It's great to have you back on the show.
Hi, everyone. Lovely to be here. Thank you for asking me to come back. It's awesome to be here.
Excellent. It's great to have you here, and I'm sure you saw the flyers that we were sending out about an hour ago with B buzzing around, bringing all that positivity to our show this evening. So it's great to have you back, B. We'll catch up with you shortly, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Let me just have a quick hello to the guys and girls in the chat box as well. Miguel, good evening. Adam, good evening. Robert, great to have you on board again. Good evening again, Robert. Sassy, fantastic to see you on here, Sassy. And Winnie Skibbs, thanks for replying to all those people. I thought you had a double there, Winnie, but no, you're in here with us. Okay, fantastic. Let me have a look at the numbers on YouTube. Okay, guys, don't forget we've got a live stream going to our Bureau of Forefront YouTube channel, our Metaverse Masterminds YouTube channel, my General Kev Barefoot Twitter channel. Okay, so if you want to chat, if you want to ask any questions, go to those channels where you'll have a live chat box feed directly into the studio where we can read them out, we can put them on the screen, and we can have you live on board as well. And we've got Pam on board as well. Welcome, Pam. Hello to all you awesome folk. Fantastic. Okay, let's crack on then, guys. We have got another special guest joining us, and I have got a message from him. Just a second. 10 minutes. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We've got another chap joining us all the way from South Carolina this evening. And that's another story, guys. Yeah, I was at the dentist yesterday. So if I sound as though I'm slurring my speech, again, I've not been on the bottle. I've had 2 top teeth removed. And when Sarah took a photograph of it to show me, I think they removed the top jaw to get to the tooth. Put it that way. It's a hell of a mess. So how I'm talking tonight, I don't know. But fingers crossed it'll go okay. It has been very sore, but we're on the mend, which is the main thing. Okay, guys, I'm going to try and crack on, give you all the updates that we've got, because we've got all these special guests that I want to bring on as well. Okay, I do apologise, Trucker Fletch. Have we got Fred in the room this evening as well? Of course we have. There we go. We cannot miss out our Fred. We don't want him to get all depressed on us through the show, do we? Okay, so the elephant in the room, Telegram groups. Okay, we have, most of us may have noticed that Telegram groups seem to be sprouting up and popping up all over the place. Okay, from the Universal Ecosystem Telegram group, they seem to have expanded into different regions and different countries. Okay, it's fairly easy to follow because of the structure that I've created in Telegram regarding our groups anyway. Now, all I can say, guys, because I've had many messages about this with mixed emotions, mixed opinions, and asking for my opinion as well. Well, it's like this, guys. Yeah, we can love it or leave it. Simple as that. But I want to reassure everybody that's watching this live feed this evening, nothing's going to change where we're concerned, guys. Anything that's added to the platform is exactly that. It's an addition. It's not instead of. Okay. We've built up our teams, built up our integrity and honesty with all our members, and we intend to continue with that. So please don't worry about our groups being shut down, because yes, word has got about that we're shutting our groups down. That's not true, guys. That's not true. We're going to keep our groups exactly how they are, giving you the information of exactly how we've been doing. I don't mind if they've created new groups. That's absolutely fine with me. What that means is hopefully there'll be more information coming from corporate, which everybody wants to enjoy that. We need that. We need that. But if they can put it into each category, then all the better for us. We can use that and then take that information back to our relative groups and share it with all the members, because on a balance of things, that's the biggest problem we've got regarding this. People saying, I don't want to go to another group. I've only just got settled in this one, which I agree. You know, this is the way it is. So word of reassurance, guys, don't worry. We're still going to continue with Discord and our Telegram groups. Okay. That's the first thing out the way. Okay. The next biggie was the system update, the main update that was carried out a few days ago, and the ongoing. The result of that was a vulnerability was found in the back office. Okay. Now we've had a meeting with corporate regarding this to find out exactly what the problem was. There was a vulnerability in that software upgrade that gave a certain amount of members the ability to withdraw funds that were not supposed to be withdrawn. Okay, they had access to funds that before the time that they should have had. Basically, corporate picked up on this pretty much straight away, immediately, and they closed that window of opportunity, which obviously affects the whole platform. Okay, that meant that our withdrawals were halted. Temporarily, there was halted. Okay, they didn't fail as such. They were put into a holding tank, if you like. The doors were closed so that nobody could take anything else off the platform. It was a safety feature, and I understand that, and I fully agree with what they did. Now, the ongoing effects of that clearly means that there is a backlog of withdrawals in order to get back to the normal pace of 24-hour withdrawal. Okay, so we've got all that information direct from corporate. They've explained everything fully transparent about what the problem was and the ongoing results that should be resolved within a few days, to be fair, because basically what it was, the worst case scenario was, with people that are trying to do withdrawals, they may have to wait up to 72 hours. Okay. Now, as the days go by, that'll reduce to 48 hours and then down to 24 hours. So it's just getting rid of that backlog, guys. So there's nothing to worry about if your withdrawals are taking that little bit longer to leave the platform. I've done 1 or 2 withdrawals over the last few days. Absolutely perfect, guys. Yes, a little bit late, but not to worry. They're still there. It still said pending. And then it was 24 hours more than what it should have been. Okay, so in total, that's only 48 hours for me. I've never seen a 72-hour withdrawal yet. So fingers crossed, guys, we're nearly there. They've got that sorted out. Okay. So that's that. I don't want to miss anything before we move on. Identify the vulnerability. Okay. The next thing that I've noticed is from the upgrade that they performed, when you log into your back office now and go to your username and drop down that list of that menu, you've got two areas now. I can't remember what they are without going off my screen, which I don't want to do. But one of them is a reward center. Okay. The other is customer services. That's it. You know where your username is in at the top right-hand corner. If you click on that and drop down that, where you usually find your user ID and your hyperverse source or whatever all in there, you've got a reward center and a customer service direct link. Okay, now that reward center is fascinating actually, because in there it gives a list of all previous, upcoming and ended campaigns. Okay, which is great. We don't have to go searching for them in Telegram anymore, which is what we were having to do before. So all you need to do now, guys, is log into your system, go to your username and drop that menu down and look for the reward center. And that gives you all the leaderboards and everything, you know, for people that are purchasing land in that campaign now. Very fascinating looking in the back office, guys. Okay. I'm going to bring on our other special guest who's managed to join us now. Dr. Eric Guillard, I think that is. Dr. Eric, can you hear us, sir? Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Absolutely perfectly clear, Eric. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you all so much. And thank you, General Kev, for giving me this opportunity. What a privilege and an honor it is for me. My wife and I, tomorrow is my birthday. And so my wife has got all of these things, these lovely things that she's planning for me. And so here I am. We're up and down the highway. And I'm like, honey, I've got to do this podcast. Can we go home? So thank you so much, General, for this time. I really want to, first of all, give you all an idea of a synopsis of who I am. I am Bishop Eric Gilead. I am a bishop in South Carolina, the state of South Carolina. I am a father of two young men, 27 and 30 years old. I won't tell you how old I will be tomorrow, but I'm getting up there. I've been married for 33 years to a wonderful and amazing young lady who she hates when I share this, but our families have such a long history, she and I, that my wife was the flower girl in my parents' wedding. If you can imagine that. She was the flower girl at my parents' wedding. So my dad, who's an elder, married me to his flower girl. So imagine that.
Awesome. Well, it's fantastic having you on the show this evening, Eric. Would you like to tell the viewers exactly what position you've got within Dalversal and how you entered the metaverse or the crypto space in general? Have you had an interest for very long?
Yes, I have actually. That's a great question because I got plugged into Dalversal about 4 months ago, and I was a part of another platform that all of us are familiar with. I won't say the word, but we were. Okay. I was a part of that for a few years, and I'll tell you, that really impacted my life in such an amazing way, to the place where I was able to do things that I couldn't do before. In general, I couldn't believe it. At one point, we were in Walmart, and they're not paying me to give them a shameless plug, but whenever my wife and I, there was a time when my wife and I were shopping, And she said, honey, can I get this? I'm like, sure, honey, get it. Whatever, you don't even look at the price, just get it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's where we were. And of course, things change, but my passion hasn't changed. The culture changed, our society has changed, but my joy hasn't changed. I got it. My son, who is my oldest, EJ, Eric Jr., told me about this, about a Bitcoin when it was, golly, I think it was at $13. And I got some, and it was going up for a little while. I think it went up to $75. I was getting really, really excited about it. And then it took a dive and I panicked. General, I panicked. And you know what I did?
Yeah.
I dumped it. And I'm thinking, you know, I still have boot marks on my backside because of what I did.
Sure.
And so, but I understand that climate because when I was between 18 and 21, I worked on the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street. So I'm familiar with volatility.
Yeah.
I have people win it. I have seen people in high positions and then they lost it all. And then they're walking up and down the street of Broadway homeless because they lost it all.
Yeah.
So that's our history in terms of crypto. I was into crypto, into several different ventures, but one thing I'm learning, and I'm always a student. I'm a student for life. Is if you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but also be patient and use wisdom and kind of discern the atmosphere and the climate. I was talking to my wife earlier, and I was telling her we've all heard the saying, "Birds of a feather flock together," right?
Yeah.
I have been in communities where things turned out positive, and then all of a sudden, when there's a ripple in the water, you find out who is who.
Yeah.
And I choose to conserve my energy for the sake of my family, for the sake of my sanity, to recognize I'm going to soar with the eagles that see things from the same viewpoint. So,
well, you're certainly in the right type of group here, hence the banner that's promoted this call this evening about being positive in the metaverse. Now, B12, who we've got on this evening, is an expert in that area, and she'll be going through some form of meditation with us later on so that we can all connect with ourselves, because this is an important part of the metaverse. And Eric, I can really respond to and relate to what you spoke about before, when money didn't seem to matter. It's not about being rich and famous and overzealous with your money. It's just about not worrying about where the next pound's coming from. We were in that exact position. And I've just been explaining, just before you managed to get in the studio, I was explaining to the viewers that just recently I've been to the dentist and had 2 teeth out. Now, in the UK over here, we're in an impossible situation to get any financial help with that now. Now, I've got to be honest, we turned round yesterday and said, if we were not in Dalversal doing the things we're doing now, there is no way we could afford to have that dental treatment. None at all. Now, again, guys, we don't offer financial advice, and I'm saying that you could have different, results than I do in Dalversal. What I'm saying is, my experiences in Dalversal have been phenomenal. They're really good. And I started literally on that bottom rung of the ladder, yet again, like most members do. Eric, you've said it yourself, the complete, it was like the platform had just collapsed from under us. And everybody lost their rag, they lost their hope, they lost the vision. And you're right, sir, we should flock together, if you like, those positive members. we're being mindful, we're being positive within here. And like I say, I thank you very much, Eric, for coming on here. We feel, can I just ask, are you a team leader? What would you class yourself as within Dalversal? You're from South Carolina, yeah?
Yes, sir. I am from New Jersey, but I hail out of South Carolina for about 35 years. I do consider myself a team leader, and Dalversal, but also in the community. That's just who I am.
Yeah, sure. Because, like I say, you're probably a little bit like me. You don't like putting a title to anything, but there is a fact in the matter that some people are good at leading. You know, they don't sort of promote the title; they promote the ability. I agree with that. Now, is there any member on the panel this evening, Winnie, Patricia, Fletch, or B, that would like to ask Eric a question while you're on here? Anybody at all?
I'm thinking.
It's a difficult one when we put straight on the spot. So,
well, let me say thank you for the birthday love. I'm reading that. Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking at that right now.
I just want to say happy birthday and happy birthday, Chris, because Chris was just a couple of days ago.
Happy birthday, Chris!
And there's another Aquarian coming up. We'll talk about that later.
Yay for the Aquarians!
Aquarians, yes.
Exactly. Chris, would you like to? I'm trying to swap the. There we go. Chris, are you there? Would you like a word with Eric, another Aquarian?
Yeah, they're saying, where are we? Good evening, Eric. I'm miles away. I'm just noshing on my tea. I'm a bit late getting it tonight. Been a busy day. Yeah, fellow Aquarian. Looking at the stars and things that's going on this year, it looks like we're all in for a good time, especially as fellow Aquarians. So I can't wait. I'm excited. We're only first foot into the month, and things are looking really good.
Absolutely, I agree. Thank you so much, Chris, and happy belated happy birthday for you as well, my friend.
Excellent. So what's your future outlook for Dalversal over the next 6 months to a year, Eric? You know, personally, what do you think and what are you looking forward to the most in Dalversal?
Well, there's a saying that I've always said, and I've been kind of saying this recently, shoot for the moon. And this is before Dalversal. And if you miss, at least you'll be amongst the stars. And every time I go to my back office, I see the planets and I see the stars, and that resonates with me. I see myself as a planet owner, as a node, not necessarily planets plural. I'll be okay with a planet, but I see myself with tracts of land. You see, I can sense something is happening. And the clue is when I'm driving on the highways, I'm driving through the neighborhoods, and I see this land that was once empty, and all of a sudden there's signs saying land for sale, or you can build your vision on this land, which to me tells me something is happening. And so my vision is to get as much land as I can, because someone's going to come along. And again, I've got my lesson learned from the boot marks on my pants from the that I want to get some tracts of land, in virtual or otherwise. And this is the part that really excites me, General, is the power to dream and to dream big. And when I look at the planets and I look at the stars and I look at the possibilities, it's endless. And Chris is right on, spot on. The possibilities are endless. I really see major things happening for all of us as a family and as a community. And I want to encourage everybody, because life happens, and I'm going to stop in a minute. Life happens. Life is going to happen. Storms are going to erupt. Waves are going to cause some boats, but don't look at the storm. Look at what you don't see in your heart and in your spirit. Don't listen to the noise, but listen to the your heart and in your spirit.
Yeah,
That's what I'm sure.
I can relate to that very much so, Eric, because we've been through the storm. We've traveled through bad weather in that storm with the hyperverse hypernation. I consider it that we're at the place now that we survived that. We can survive anything. Okay. Now we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up. We're seeing it now. The vulnerability of the fear of missing out. You mentioned it yourself. We've got to be cautious. We've got to be wary of the ups and downs in crypto over the next 6 months to a year. The volatility is going to be crazy. It really is. And I think that the one word that springs to my mind is mindful. We've got to be mindful that everything is going to be rocky. You're absolutely right. But with what we've got here in a community, okay, we've maybe not got a lot of people in this group at the moment, but over the course of a week, you want to have a look at the views that this gets, and I spend half my time in YouTube doing tech support with the viewers than over in Telegraph and Dalversal. So even if they're not live on tonight, it's an ongoing, thriving community that are here to ride that storm with us. Absolutely correct. It's not easy. It's not easy. It never was going to be easy. Why not? Because we're creating it. We are the creators. We're the ones that are putting our best foot forward and saying, okay, we've been through the storm. We understand the process. We've just got to ride it. And like you say, Eric, when you're driving past those billboards saying this land is for sale, I can vision this in Web3 moving forward. We know that Apple and Microsoft didn't just go click and that was it. They were selling everything. It was a long-term process to get to where they are now. So we are on the right road. And for those people that look into the future, okay, because what we've done in the last 3 or 4 months while Dalversal have been rolling, we've been able to create those foundations. We spoke about this last week, where we create the foundations now without losing that vision of the future, and everything will be fine. You build a good, look at Noah's Ark, yeah? You build a good ark and it won't collapse under all that storm weather. So yes, I fully agree with you with what you said there.
Can I share a short, acute, true story about the Charlie Brown Christmas tree?
Sure.
My wife and I, about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we went to the store to search around for a tree. And I like the big fluffy trees, but this wasn't the Christmas tree, but it has the same analogy. It was a regular tree, but the tree was so small and it was so puny and it was so bad off that the supermarket, the department store probably couldn't mark it down anymore. They probably should have put a sign out that says, please, someone take this. So we take this tree, we bought it for pennies on the dollar. We take it home. This tree, by all accounts, no one would want it. And I began to speak life to the roots. I dug a hole in my home. I took the roots and I began to speak life and said, you will live and you will not die. And then I began to nurture it. And I put it into a hole and I put in soil. I didn't put any cords, anything to hold it because it was so fragile. I probably should have. But talk about the storm. That tree, 20 years later, grew to be a huge. That tree withstood the storm and the winds and the rain and the snow. And it's a huge Bradford pear tree.
Is that tree gifting fruit now?
It's gifting fruit.
That's the result, sir. That's the result. And this is exactly symbolic to what we're able to do on this platform. If we nurture those wounded warriors, and let's face it, we are all wounded warriors at some point over the last 2 years. We have been wounded. We have had them scars. Some of us bigger battle scars than others, But as a global community, just one simple act of kindness like that can bear fruits in the future. That's a wonderful story, Eric, and I love the analogy to this. And I'm sure B, as well as the other two ladies we have on the panel, will be able to relate to this. Let's go to Winnie. Winnie, what do you think to that? I mean, that story is fantastic, and it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It's beautiful. Yes. Yeah. Well, I when Eric was talking, I had this feeling of that I have about Diversal and us and what we're doing together. Of just like we're moving really steadily, just like slowly.
Mm-hmm.
There's excitement, but we've seen all that before. The huge, large amounts of money and small amounts of money, and there's this sense of steady building, and that's what I get from the company, that they're not going crazy. There's this steady build, which is amazing. And I did my first withdrawal off the system last week, I think it was. Got my first crypto card, and just not a huge amount, but just my first amount. And first thing I did was what did I do? Bought some petrol and put it in the car because I'm, for the hospital visits, and also paid to see a film, your favorite film, Ready Player One.
Did you manage to watch it all, Winnie?
I did. Yes. Yeah. Excellent.
What was your overall thought on that?
Well,
Wonderful
amazing graphic. Well, I feel like I need to watch it again, really. There's so much in it.
I've watched it 3 times and I'll still watch it again.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful film. Just before I forget, Eric, do you own let me bring you back on screen, sir. Do you own a planet yourself, sir?
Not yet, sir, but I will. Absolutely will.
Okay, because normally what we would do with any special guests that come on our show, we do get them to name their planet so that we promote that. So as soon as you do purchase a planet, Eric, please let us know so that we can help to promote it for you. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And this goes out to any member, any viewer, anybody that wants to come on the show. This is exactly what we want to be able to do, so the viewers can help to support you as well, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let's go over to our good friend Patricia. Patricia, are you still there?
I'm here.
We haven't made you go to sleep yet, have
No,
we?
no, I'm here. I've got the light on. You can see me better. Hello.
Wonderful. What do you think to Eric's story? Wonderful, don't you think?
It's amazing. And it's so, you can just tell that Eric's got a heart. He's really heart-based person, and we all are here.
I think it's wonderful when you can relate stories like that to the platform that we're on. There's that simplicity to it that is very powerful. That's the way I see it anyway. So how's your week been in Diversal?
Diversal's been okay. Actually, Diversal's been great compared to everything else. So
right. Okay,
when I said it was a bit so-so, it was to do with other stuff that's been going on. I also had the dentist, weirdly. Nothing terrible, but just annoying because they do more work than you expect, and they charge you more than you expect, and it's actually made me think there's no transparency in daily interactions anymore. You go in expecting one thing and you come away with something else. What I love about Diversal is what you're going to get. You kind of
sure.
It's very, very transparent. So, but look, good news is I've got my crypto earning wearable.
Oh, awesome!
Which is a new thing, a Web3 thing, So I'm experimenting at the moment, but now I know what my blood pressure's doing. I know how my stress levels are. I know what my sleep is like. It's so interesting.
Yeah. I did have a look at that. Oh, sorry, I've taken you off screen. Sorry, Patricia, I slipped with my mouse. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Winnie was saying about, getting some money off the platform and, how exciting that is. Well, it's, to me, the whole Web3 environment is exciting. I just find it really amazing. And the first time I ever bought something with crypto money was a pair of shoes last Christmas. And it was like, I felt like, you know, the guy that bought a pizza with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you know, it's just,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
amazing.
one thing I've noticed, and I will mention it on the show, is that we've got a lot of members coming back from Hyperverse and Hypernation. Okay, we've got to address this. You know, what's our slogan? You know, nobody's left behind, and I will stand by that. And I just want to make it clear to those members, if they're watching live or if they're watching in the future, that this process is not a case of put your assets onto Dalversal, exchange it into USDT and take it off. No, guys, no. There's a reason for that, okay? There is a reason for that. And I fully agree with it. Dalversal have no obligation to us whatsoever, in my mind, okay? They want to be able to help us in return for our involvement with their business. That's a simplistic way of looking at it. But guys, if it was that easy just to swap it onto another coin and take it off the platform, what would you be gaining? You're not gaining anything in the crypto realm whatsoever. You're not getting any education on how to create wallets, how to send certain cryptocurrencies to other networks, for instance. This is a wonderful educational platform at the same time as recovering our pending rewards. I can't knock it, guys. I'll say it as it is. So what I'm going to do now is go back to Patricia, and can you explain to the viewers, this wrist strap is actually, even though it's a different company, it's nothing to do with Dalversal. We don't normally promote anything else. What I'm talking about is the principle of what that does and why, related to crypto and your data. You're actually gaining from that, whereas before you wouldn't, somebody else would. Would you like to explain to the viewers how that works?
Yeah, it's the principle I'm excited about. All right, I'm not here to promote. I'm just saying that instead of me sending my anonymized data to whatever company, if I'm with a, you know, standard data company, they gain from my anonymized data. Instead of that, I'm actually earning rewards for how much data I'm sending, and that's dependent on how much I stake on an NFT that is attached to this device. So it's linked to me, it's my NFT, it's my data, and I get rewarded for it. So it really is a phenomenal idea. I'm just excited about the whole angle that we take back ownership of what belongs to us. You know, we talked a few weeks ago, self-sovereignty, you know, the idea that our body
is exactly what
our lives has some
Yeah.
meaning for us rather than just being another corporate profit model.
Yes.
So for me, that's the exciting bit. It's
exactly, that's exactly what I was referring to, Patricia, taking back the power of your ownership of your data. Now, I haven't bought one of them yet. Eric has written in the private chat box that he wants more information on that, so we'll connect you two guys up soon and we'll be able to share that data. What I wanted to say was I haven't purchased one of those yet, Patricia, but I've got one of these smart watches that monitors your blood pressure and your heart rate and your sugar level and so forth. Yeah. And I know exactly what you mean, because that data does actually get sent back to Apple or whoever your service provider is. Now, the funny thing is, I haven't got used to using this now. And I was on my way to the dentist the other day and I heard my watch talking to me and it was dialing the NHS. I don't know why. So I've had to lock it. So I don't know how to use these things. I'm a bit of a techno geek, but I've never had one of these before. So I've got a lot to learn yet. Can I just bring Trucker Fletch in, because he did ask for to ask a question. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kev. It was just backtracking a little bit to what Dr. Eric said about his tree. Ellie, my daughter, and I, we've got 2 plots of land that we grow vegetables and fruit on. We rent it off the council. This is our 3rd year. The first year we got the allotments, we were all dead excited and we put everything in there we could. tried to grow everything as fast as we could, and most of the crops failed. And we sat down and thought, hang on, something wrong here. We stepped back. Last year, we took a lot of time over what we did, took our time, built it up properly, and we had wheelbarrows full of fruit and veg.
Wow.
So what you said about rushing forward, and we're all feeling very excited about this, but if we slow down a little bit and take it little step by little step by little step, we'll have a massive harvest instead of just having nothing like we did 3 years ago. We learned our lesson, and it was so exciting. I mean, now we've got our seed catalogues through. We're all excited about what we're going to plot. And I said to my daughter, put the seed catalogues back in the cupboard. We just take it step by step. We're both excited because we want to grow a lot this year. But it's true what you said about giving something time to work. And that's all what Dalversal's about, building it up very slowly. Because when you rush into something, it just fails. You take it slowly, bit by bit. We had wheelbarrows full of fruit and veg last year. So hopefully, August, September time, we'll be on here live from our allotments instead of sitting in our front room pushing wheelbarrows full of vegetables. Thanks, Kev.
Wow.
Yeah. What a story. I mean, Eric, I think instead of wheelbarrows full of veg, you'll have wallets full of crypto. Let's hope that'll be the alternative.
Yeah.
But I understand it fully. I really do, because it's a different energy that you're portraying to, or you're emanating to that plot of land.
Yeah.
And that's where your energy makes the difference. Okay. If your energy field is all full of go, 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 it's not a good, relaxed energy that you're feeding to that. And I do believe that may be the same for Dalversal and any other crypto space. What do you
General,
think, Eric?
can I piggyback on that, please?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead, sir.
That Chris is absolutely amazing. When I listen to you, listen to General and everyone that's contributed, the amazing thing about what you're doing, Chris, is the miracle you can't see. The miracle takes place beneath the soil. During the time and the process, and everything is a process. But when we slow it down and allow our spirits to really kind of just get into what we're doing and give us some TLC, the amazing thing, the greatest part takes place beneath the soil. Then you see the manifestation after that. So, General, I just wanted to say that when we slow it down, when we slow down our lives, I think I'm preaching to myself. We turn down some devices. Slow down, just kind of listen to our spirit, because I really believe that everything that we need to thrive, not just survive, but to thrive, is already in us. If we just slow down, we can hear an amazing plethora of things that's coming to us. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that. And I pray many, many blessings upon you and your daughter and the works of your hands.
That's awesome. Patricia'd like to say something. Go ahead, Patricia. Sorry about my teeth. Go ahead.
That's okay. I wanted to add to that slowing down idea. Do you know one of the best ways to lower your blood pressure? Okay. Because a lot of people suffer with hypertension. It's really, really common, and it creeps up on you as you get older. And modern medicine tells you there's no answer. There's no, apart from drugs, obviously, there's no reason why you've got high blood pressure. It's just one of those things, okay? One of the main reasons is you're operating on a stress system. And one of the best ways of reducing your stress is to slow your breathing to, probably one breath every 10 seconds. So 6 breaths a minute. And that's all you have to do. And you can actually observe it happening when you've got one of these things. But
you can,
just to take my word for it, most of us are operating from a high stress environment all day, every day. We're breathing high up in our rib cage. We're not doing deep breaths at all. And it really has an impact on our bodies. And the other thing I wanted to say was the soil, the equivalent in the human is our gut. Okay, the microbiome in your gut is your inner soil. Okay, and what a lot of people don't realize is that their kind of daily activities, the foods they eat, the thoughts they think, the people they interact with create this kind of stressful environment for your inner garden. And that has an ongoing knock-on effect on your health outcomes. And so kind of nurturing your inner garden and slowing down, I think, are the themes for us. And, you know, wealth and health are intimately linked. And so, you know, coming from a space where you are full of hope and you are full of gratitude, but you are willing to just slow down and let this thing build, because that's what's happening. And certainly that's what I remind myself when I go into, you know, fear, which I do, or doubt, which comes up as well from time to time.
Yeah.
And certainly with hyper, you know, we are allowed to say it was a really scary time for a lot of us, because, you know,
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
put a lot of faith in it and we put a lot of money in it. I had. And so this is a renewal time. And that's what I see 2024 as a time of renewal. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
No, absolutely, Patricia. And I'm aware everybody wants to chat. Just 1 second. Yeah. we all want to get it out. Yeah, absolutely. And what Dr. Eric has said there about preaching our own thing, I'm just as guilty. You know, I'm great at advising other people, but sometimes we should be looking at ourselves first. You know, that's the way it works. And like I say, I can relate this, because some viewers might be saying, well, what's this got to do with the metaverse? I can bring 1 or 2 things up straight away, guys. Yeah. 2 observations. I've been looking at the groups over the last couple of days, and one of the biggest problems that people forget all the time is that we're not on the same page as the next member. We're all at different levels of knowledge and education, and yet the conversations that I've seen are terrible. You know, it's like, oh, well, why don't you know this? You should know this. And it's like, no, you don't need to know anything. If you come to us with a question, please ask us, you know. But I've seen some terrible responses to some very basic questions. And sometimes we have to sit down and say, hang on a minute, this guy maybe doesn't know, or this lady doesn't know. That's not our fault. That's not their fault. They've maybe just jumped onto the thing. But this is how our stress levels within the metaverse environment can just get out of hand so quick. You know, I've seen people blocked and deleted from groups for asking simple questions. Why? That's crazy. That creates more stress. Okay, Winnie was first. Yeah, so we'll bring Winnie on and then we'll bring you on, B. Go ahead, Winnie.
Hi there. Yeah, I wanted to continue the garden analogy, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. What Patricia said about the inner garden and the story about the pear tree is beautiful. And Chris and I also have a garden and grow a lot of vegetables, and I'm a no-dig gardener, which means I don't dig the soil, but all the food goes on top and the worms do the work. So I love the metaphor for that. It's about feeding the soil and not the plant. So it's not about like piling on fertilizer to speed up the plant. It's about getting the whole thing healthy. And once the soil is healthy, you can grow anything in it. Really, so I like that metaphor of we've got to keep our inner soil healthy, and then we can respond appropriately to anything, and anything will grow, and we don't have to like rush, you know. That's it, really. I just love that.
So what you're saying is something similar, like your energy that you're putting in has to be correct in order for that to respond as well. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And just listening is so important, and slowing down and not rushing. I have this there's this guy who's the no-dig guru. He's called Charles Dowding, and lots of people follow him, and he's so wise, and he sends out these newsletters around this time of year in the UK. Lots of people are going, oh, I need to sow, I need to start thinking. And he just goes, wait, don't rush. And he's very into listening and sowing at the right time and just responding appropriately, and basically intelligent gardening, which means it's not about work as well. It's not about like put in loads of work, dig in that, or put in loads of feed and stuff. It's just about trusting and listening and responding appropriately to you, including yourself and your own energy. So
exactly, because you'll end up with a bad back if you go too hard at it and everything.
Exactly.
There is consequences to this as well.
Yeah.
Okay, B, you've been so patient, and I do apologise, but let me try and bring you on screen. There we go, B. You wanted to say, yeah, of course. Welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to echo what we've all been saying, really, and the observations we've been having through Telegram and all the different channels. And I feel like because we are creatures of habit and we want things done yesterday, we kind of lose patience quite quickly. And when things don't go to plan, so when things, for example, go wrong with the platform or there's blips, we're really quick to sort of put things in those chats, and it creates fear, like we've been talking about. So it's really about maintaining composure and looking at your patience and knowing that there will be a solution. And Dalversal have been amazing at, sorting things out and keeping us all informed. But it's really about having hope, keeping hope, and using this community to kind of look for shared values, look for information, sharing our knowledge. And I think we've been really good at collaborating together, and these groups are brilliant for that. So I think working together is the main thing, because we're not just enriching our own lives, we're enriching the lives of each other. So that's what it's all about. So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and the value, you're speaking of the value, it's not the coins that are value, it's the environment that we're building up here as well and nurturing that. Exactly. Okay. Chris, did you want to say something?
Yeah, when you look at it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, when you look at it, we're like, and don't take this wrong, anybody, but we're like children again. We're learning from the beginning. And if you try and teach a child too quick, it runs up, falls over, and hurts itself. Now, the way we're being brought on with this is we're coming on in slowly moves, and we're building stronger, and we're learning more. We're learning to be more accepting, more spiritually linked in this. I don't know if that's just my opinion, but since I've been on here, I've made more friends. We're all got the same common goal that we want to work to. And on about panicking and that, I don't watch the news normally, but my daughter come down the other afternoon in a right panic. Dad, are they going to send me off to war? I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I saw that.
There's a thing going on at the moment where they're threatening to take all our UK citizens and make them sign up to war. And to me, it's just, I laughed, because to me, it's just something else to keep the public living in fear. And once we learn to switch off the fear factor, I looked at it now 10 years ago, I would have panicked. And I looked at it and I peed myself laughing, because this is, no, how can they? We've got 2 or 3 crises since 2020. We're all still here. So how can they force us into doing something we don't want to do? They don't want us doing this. We're doing it. We're making ourselves.
The energy's got to be positive, and we've got to commune together, and get teams together in order to be able to share that knowledge. Eric, do you have a large community where you are? Do you have a big downline team?
To date, coming into Dalversal, I'm rebuilding.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
When coming from the hyper team, I only had about 700 on my hyper team.
Yeah, sure. The reason I was asking is that for a general, I wasn't being nosy about your account, sir. I just wanted a general feedback on how your team see Dalversal at the moment. Is it positive? Is it based on a similar sort of thing of what we're talking about? Do they see what we see?
So, from what I'm learning, General, is several different categories that I'm working with folks on our team. There are folks, and I think everyone can relate to this. There are folks who are absolutely there are folks who who will follow you, and even though it may hurt, they trust you. They'll walk through the process with you. There are folks who are saying, this is really hurting me. I'm not sure if I want to do this again. And then there's folks who just never call you back. Okay, they just won't.
Yeah.
They just won't call you back. And so I've learned this saying in ministry is to go with the goers. Go with the goers. So that tells me that initially, even though I want everyone to come and just participate, even if they just do this passively, not even purchasing land, but just come on and be a part of it. But initially, I'm going to go with the goers, and then when I get them on board, so I'm going through and letting folks know, look, there's a way. It's not promised, it's not guaranteed, but let's just give this a shot. And so that's my first group. The second group is like, I know it hurts. I wish I had a Band-Aid or something to give you, but if you just give this one more shot and let's just try this, then I'll walk with you through the process. And then the third group, I'm just praying that someone from the first or second group will reach out to them and say, hey, bud, you might want to take another look at this and give this an opportunity, because we didn't have to get, this is a gift, everybody. This to me is a gift. It didn't have to happen this way. For me, it's a major blessing. And so I'm going with the goers. That's what I'm using, even in communities, even in our ministry. I'm going with the goers. People say they're with you, but action speaks louder than words. So I'm going to go with those who are ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the best way of starting, because people will watch, people will see us progressing as we do. Hence the reason why I'm still getting people saying, "Can we withdraw from Hyperverse yet?" Crazy. When you look at the surface of it, but like I said, let's be mindful and understand that some people are still at that level. And the reason I asked you that, Dr. Eric, was to highlight the fact that we need to understand our fellow members, whether they're in our teams or not. The act of understanding each other is very valuable into helping each other thrive and go forward in this ecosystem. If we don't understand at what level of understanding they are, and that's not just regarding crypto, it's about their emotional well-being as well. Do they understand about this? Do they understand that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, is a real thing? If you understand that it's a real thing, you've got a better chance of overcoming it. If you don't understand what FUD is, it will live in forevermore. So this is why we've come with the Metaverse Masterminds, and we're covering these sort of topics. Some people might say, oh, it's got nothing to do with Dalversal. No, it's got everything to do with the crypto space in general, though. Just because we're in Dalversal, yes, it's appropriate. So Patricia, the crypto... I'm sorry, guys, my teeth are knotting up again. Patricia, the crypto, the wary crypto note, sorry, I'll get it right in a second. You are campaigning to bring more women onto the platform. Over the last 4 or 5 weeks, is it, that we've known of you and you've been attending the shows, have you noticed any feedback regarding that? Any difference of opinion, not only by the females but the males as well? Can you give any feedback about that?
Well, I had a wonderful comment made to me just before I came on this call, and I was in another group and in another conversation, and somebody said, very unexpectedly said about me that I'm great at helping to promote the education piece, and that I'm passionate, which I am. And I was so pleased that someone didn't know. It was another woman that said it. It was somebody that I've previously interviewed on the Wary Cryptonaut. It's not Winnie. It was someone else. Although Winnie's also said some lovely things to me. What we need to do is bring more heart into this space, I think. And I'm not saying that's a female only perspective, but it's definitely, it changes it, when more women are involved. And what I've noticed is there's more about the community and what we can do as a group rather than as, look at me, I'm going to build a massive amount of money or a massive team or whatever. It's really about what we can do with this abundance when we create it. And so I've had some good feedback. I mean, my original idea was just to talk about crypto because there aren't many women talking about crypto. I had no great ambition, but as I've gone on, I thought, no, this is an important movement that we need. We need the whole community to be involved in, and even people who've never done anything crypto wise, don't even know what it is, to come in and understand that this is a movement of taking back control and nurturing, I guess. Winnie just said that, to kind of nurturing ourselves to create more value for each other.
Yes.
And so I've been astounded by just the responses I'm getting, because it's not something I expected. I just did it because I'm interested and I wanted to talk about what I'm interested in. That was it. But I'd like to encourage more women, more young people, and people just generally who are skeptic or technophobic or whatever, who think, oh, that's just that weird stuff. We're not interested, because it's had a huge amount of bad press, crypto. Mainstream media just constantly says it's a scam, and and they make it harder and harder for you to buy crypto and get transfer funds and so on. And I just want to overturn that and just say, no, this is a roots movement.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Trucker Fletcher's hand up. Come on board, Chris.
Yeah, just a quick one. It's a bit of a funny subject. We was watching last night a documentary on one of our channels on TV, and it was about the UK miners' strike back in 1984. And my daughter, I home educator, and she was watching it last night, and she saw what happened then is what we're repairing in a way now with the hyper, with the Dalversal, moving on. Instead of moving back like they did with a miners' strike, where it was splitting communities up. And Ellie was watching it and she was absolutely amazed. She says, Dad, what they've done is destroyed the communities. What we're doing in the crypto world and with Dalversal, we're putting those communities back together again. And she noticed how the women were backing the fellas up, and it was such a different world then. And she asked last night, she went, was that the only program? I went, no, it's a series of them. There's about, I think there's about 3 or 4 over the next couple of weeks. And she actually asked me, Dad, can we make sure we watch that? Because I want to learn about this. And she's 15 and she's learning what's happened in the past, and she's noticing it, and she's realizing how important it is to have communities. And I was absolutely amazed. But what you learned from that last night from history, because me and Kev lived through that. I was actually started to drive then, and we was attacked in the trucks because we were going through the picket lines, and at the time we didn't understand it. But I was guilty of helping to split a community up, and I didn't realize it at the time. But looking at that last night and going back in time, it's made me a wiser person, because what we're doing in this community is building that back up again. I know that sounds a bit off planet sort of thing, maybe off
not at all.
But I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, not at all, Chris. I understand it fully. Basically, what the crypto era is doing is far more than people realize. It's repairing a global problem where, families were split up. And that is a very emotional thing, a very emotional problem. Let's face it, people went through a lot of mental health issues regarding families being split up over this. Dr. Eric, you had your hand up. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to comment on what was just said, particularly with Chris. And I noticed Chris' tag is trucker. I was thinking of this analogy, and and Patricia and everyone else, everything that's been spoken is spoken with the spirit of love and a true heart for community. And to me, that resonates. I mean, this is like a whole nother atmosphere that's really refreshing for me. I needed this. When it comes to where we're going, and let me just digress for a moment. Maybe 20 years ago, I remember a news, and you've seen the little commercial snippet with Brian Gumbel on Good Morning America, asking what is this thing called the internet, and so now here we are, 20 years later, and things are still progressing. I submit to everyone that I think Patricia talked about nurturing, about caring for people. Several of you talked about caring. That is so important. Even with the folks in my community that you asked me about, General, it's so important that we get back to that nurturing type of a spirit, a nurturing type of a love and a heart, to let them know, look, you're not alone. I'm here for you. I've always been here for you. Let's walk through this process slowly. So I'm getting back to this, to Chris, the trucker, who would appreciate this. But this project and the vision is so big, everybody. I've never driven an 18-wheeler. I'm not going to pretend, Chris, okay? But I can only imagine if you turn too fast, that is not a good thing. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with something so large, it takes a slow, methodical, intentional turn. Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, most definitely. When we were on petrol tankers, to stop us doing that, we had technology that helped us out, and it made the lorry drivers lazy. The other ones, the other guys that were new to it, were lazy, and they relied on it. And I didn't. I was old school.
So I'm just saying, let's take this journey together at a slow, intentional pace. Let's continue to love on one another, encourage one another, and nurture one another. In general, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. If I was there in person, I'd give you either a fist bump or a hug, one of those two.
Well, thank you, Dr. Eric. Whether males of today's generation agree or not, I do hug males. Yeah. I think it's one of the most profound feelings ever. And I've been married and with my wife for 22 years, and I still hug males because I feel that love for everybody that I come into contact with, unless, of course, they do any harm to me.
We do it every time we sit around when we've come and visit each other.
We do. And in our teenage years, just for Dr. Eric's information, me and Trucker Fletcher are brothers, okay? And as teenagers, we didn't get on at all. We didn't see eye to eye at all. But as years have progressed and we've evolved ourselves, we understand what the world's all about. Okay, guys, I'm going to before I go, actually, Patricia's got to go. Would you like a few quick words before we go into an intermission, Patricia?
Cool. Yeah. Well, I just want to thank everyone for the love. We are here to share the good news. I think we need to be mindful. There's a good word for tonight. That we have a responsibility as well to be transparent, to be honest with each other, and part of the thing that really upset me this week, which was nothing to do with Diversal, but it was like the cancel culture thing. If you say something where you disagree with something, the way it's going, and you are deleted. And that's
yeah.
And nothing hurts as much as having your honest opinion kind of deleted from a public forum. It's like I'm not a violent or angry person. I was putting forward a really important question, and instead of answering it, they just delete you. So
okay, I do address these issues. Was it on one of our groups?
No.
Patricia?
I'm saying it wasn't. It wasn't a Diversal issue at all. But what I love about Diversal is they do allow, you know, dialogue, and so that's such a big part of why we're here and why we love it. So, you know, my point tonight is to kind of take care of that kind of authentic expression, because it's really, really important. And so many of us edit ourselves, you know, and we don't actually ask the questions we need to ask. So it's about being true, really. Anyway.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more, Patricia. And thank you so much for joining us again. And please do call again.
Lovely to meet you all.
It's been wonderful having you on the show again, Patricia. And I'll go into a quick intermission before we bring on our other special guest, B. So catch you in a few seconds, guys.
Thanks, Patricia.
See you soon.
Yeah, rest well.
Catch you soon, Patricia.
Bye.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Metaverse Masterminds. Unfortunately, Eric had to go as well, and I wish he'd have said something earlier so we could have wished him farewell as well. So if you're watching this back, Eric, bye for now, and you're more than welcome to come back on the show in the near future. Okay, guys, just a little bit of news while we're on the subject of being deleted out of groups. I'm going to add this into our program tonight, that we have been censored tonight. Okay, we, or should I say Private Buddykins, has tried to promote this program tonight in a certain Telegram group, and it's been deleted. This goes on, guys, and I'm not happy about it, to be fair. We do nothing wrong, and that's life, guys. We will try and sort it out, because there's no need to be censoring our programs. We're in promotion of Dalversal. There's nothing against Dalversal regarding this program. So unfortunately, guys, I'll have to take this forward and try and deal with it. But just to keep you guys ahead of the game, this program is getting censored and it's not on. Okay, let's keep this positivity on the platform, because we are being good, aren't we, B?
That's right.
Welcome to the platform, B. Hi there.
Thanks for having me.
What have you been up to, B, since the last time you was on the show?
Promoting lots of relaxation, lots of mindfulness, lifting people up, because there's a lot going on in the world, not just with Dalversal, but, you know, across the board. Looking at the news, there's lots of negative stories. So it's about making sure that we look after ourselves, looking after our mental health, looking after our well-being, and we're in charge of that. We're responsible for that. So it's about, you know, looking at how we can do that in small ways throughout the day.
Absolutely, yeah. And can you see what do you see when you look at the groups and the platform in Dalversal in general? Do you identify being the open-minded person that you are, that understands about stress levels and what have you? Do you see this on a daily basis? I certainly do on the Telegram groups. You know, and I feel that it's an energy that emanates from those groups, and it is sad, really, to see, don't you think?
I agree. I think we see it on every group. It's across the board on Telegram. I think a lot of it is fear, and a lot of it is not having the right information at the right time, and also rushing to get information. So sometimes you
Yes.
might not get the correct information at the right time. And I think it's human nature to worry if you don't know enough. So we're constantly trying to find information out, but it might not be available at that point. So it makes us worry. So it's cyclical. But I think just keeping calm, reaching out, trying to be linked in with the community, but not spreading that fear, because it's really easy throughout those groups for everybody to start feeling negative. I think it's just keeping calm, having patience, and just waiting a day or two for things to settle, and then we'll get more information. So I think you're right. I think there is worry and fear throughout them, but there's also a lot of positivity too.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know Winnie's been buzzing to get you back on the show. So let's bring Winnie back on. And I'm sure you can relate to stress over the last couple of weeks, can't you, Winnie, with everything that's been going on? This is not Dalversal related, obviously, but obviously it affects you and what input you've had with Dalversal. So how are you doing generally, Winnie?
Yes, well, actually, yes, and I had to. Well, I feel like I'm okay, but of course, it has been stressful, and it manifested in my finger. I had a septic finger. I won't go into the details because it's not nice, but I never have things like that, and it was so obviously connected. I have another friend who's also going through stuff with her parents, and she developed shingles. And again, she could definitely relate it to being under stress and worry. It's really it's when we look at it in those ways, it's really obvious how our thoughts and our feelings manifest.
Yeah, and I think it lowers your immune system, and it develops, you know, it manifests physical illnesses as well, doesn't it? Yeah,
It does, yeah.
it's really hard to understand this side of it if all we're doing is focusing on a monitor, on a
Yes,
screen, you know.
yes, absolutely, yes, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great to see you, B. Really good to have you back here.
It's really good to be here. Thank you for inviting me back. I think that there's something else I wanted to say about the crypto space. It's very new. It's still developing. We're still learning every day. And there's a lot of fear about doing things wrong, making the wrong transactions, using the wrong, just making mistakes. And I think we're all learning. So it's about forgiving yourself if you make a mistake, and reaching out for help. Because it's like learning the internet all over again. It's a completely different world. So I think that's another thing that kind of makes us all a bit weary and
Yes.
figure things out. We're constantly trying to learn, and I think that's brilliant.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I've always said, you know, there's never any silly questions. You know, to witness somebody being deleted from a group for asking a question is absolutely crazy. It really is. You know, I feel for those people because they're hurting. You know, they're probably you know, months and months behind with the information that we've been privileged to be able to catch up on. I'm trying to keep one eye on the chat room as well. People are discussing it in there with Buddykins as well. The FUD, like we were saying earlier on, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of everything in the crypto realm at the moment, especially when you realize that whatever happens with Bitcoin generally has an effect on every single area of the crypto space as well. You know, we've got to understand that of how much that would affect Dalversal if that plummets down, for instance, you know, and that fact that we don't really know creates an uncertain mind, you know. So B, what would you suggest to our members? I mean, you've been on before, you did a wonderful, you know, I can't remember how long it was it 6 minutes or something?
Yeah.
I think it was less than that, wasn't it, Winnie?
It was 3 or less.
Yeah.
It just felt like you expanded time. Yeah.
I know. I can't believe it was that only 3 minutes. I think we had this conversation at the time that, and that's just proof. That's proof. That's testimony to what we're saying. We live in a world where we're on full steam ahead all the time. Yeah, from getting up to going to bed, and then you get online, and I often have a list of things in my head that I've got to do. Since when? Since when? I can't remember when this started, but it's every single day. You know, I remember back when I was a child when I didn't give a damn what time of day it was. I didn't give a damn whether I'd eaten my dinner or tea. You know, when you were hungry, you ate. Now it's like, I've got to get my tea done now because I've got this to do later and that to do tomorrow. And do you know what I mean? It is. It's a crazy, crazy world. Trucker Fletch is got his hand up. Come on, Fred, give us a clue.
He's just eaten some tomato, so he's gone back to sleep. He just shared me tea as well. You was just on about when we was kids, Kevin. Time didn't really matter. I'm suffering a lot at the moment, and I'm splitting my head 2 ways as to whether it's right or wrong. Working lorries all them years, I worked on a shift pattern, and I thought I'd get it out of my system when I retired, and then I haven't. I've been asleep all day. I'm not at work. I'm not working. And I was awake all last night. And part of me saying, you should be going to sleep at 9 o'clock at night and getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the other part saying, so what? You want to sleep through the day and then live through the night? Do it. It's a bit awkward, but it's just a frame of mind that I've got myself into, that I've got to stop staying awake all night. I've tried it and I can't do anything. I've been to the doctors. She gave me tablets that would knock a horse out. I had 2 or 3, and I'm like still walking around like, were they Smarties? And it's just trying to get my head set that, do I have to follow by what the rules say, that you should go to sleep at night and be awake in the day, or just carry on as I am? That's the question.
To be perfectly honest, Chris, I don't think you'd even consider the question if you were relaxed and mindful of the situation. So at this point, can we ask B, have you got a mindful meditation, if you like, set for us this evening?
I have. I think you said it last time, Trucker Fletch. You said, oh, it felt like it was 6-7 minutes, and actually it was only 3 minutes. So it shows you that it doesn't take very much time to have a little bit of self-care in your day. Just a few minutes, and it can help calm every situation down. Just allowing yourself to have that space to think and to breathe, which makes your body feel better in turn. So yes, I have got a longer one today, if you're happy for me to do that. I think it'll probably be about 6 minutes. So, yeah.
It'll be about what, 6 minutes?
About 6 minutes, if that's okay.
Okay, we'll feel it about 30 to 40 minutes, but go ahead, B.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Last time I did something about, just focusing on your body and your breathing. This time I'm going to take your mind somewhere else so that you can imagine things and you can just walk through like a walking meditation. Okay, so just closing your eyes for me and focusing on your breathing. Gently breathing in and gently breathing out. Feeling your stomach rising gently as you breathe in and gently lowering as you breathe out. Visualization, the ocean. It's a pleasant, cool summer evening. You are barefoot, walking slowly down the path. There is sunlight, and you find it is hazy and gold in nature. You think it's perfect weather for a leisurely stroll outdoors. The path winds down gently toward the sea. Beside you are rocks and shallow sand dunes with some grassy areas around. You think it feels so good to be outside, breathing in the air, which is light and fresh, and taking in your surroundings. You make your way down the path in your own time, admiring the peace and the quiet that surrounds you. And as you look ahead, you find that the sky is blue with scattered clouds. As you look around, there are a few birds flying overhead. And if you listen, you can faintly hear their tweets. And as you look ahead, you notice where the ocean meets the land, a long beach sheltered by sand dunes. You continue on the path, and you begin to feel the warm, soft sand between your toes as you step onto the beach. And as you place one foot in front of the other, you stroll slowly along this special place. You find that you have this beach all to yourself on this fine day. The sun slowly begins to set, presenting an orange-pink hue across the horizon. You look out at the water, this beautiful expanse of movement. You find it mesmerizing, yet calming to watch. You can feel a pleasant breeze as you enjoy standing on the beach looking out at the ocean. You think to yourself, the ocean seems never ending. It appears in view far and wide. You can almost taste the salty air as you breathe in. You watch the water gaining speed as it crashes in the form of waves against the shore. You notice now that the sun is slowly setting out in the ocean, and the subtle darkness begins to take over. The waves crash one by one into the edge of the shore, and slowly the water flows back toward the sea again. It's almost like the ocean is taking a giant breath in as the waves crash, and a giant breath out when it's all calm. And as you look down to your feet, you can see that the sand is fine and a light grey in colour. You notice that the sand changes to a darker grey where it becomes wet. And ahead in front of you, there is a wooden bench. You go ahead and slowly walk to it, and you take a seat. You begin to study the waves, and you can see foam laying on the shore. You notice it fizzing, and you can see that there are tiny bubbles popping as it begins to dissolve. You stare at the foam rising on the waves. It follows the crest and falls onto the beach as the waves crash. You listen to the sounds of the ocean, the loud crash of each wave, and you enjoy the momentary quiet as they soften into nothingness, as they slowly go out again into the ocean. You begin to play with the sand, sinking it into your feet, feeling the warmth. As you dig your feet deeper into this soft sand, you notice the dampness and the coolness from your toes being submerged into the sand. And as you sink your feet further, you enjoy the cool feeling from your toes being in the wet sand. As you look around, there is a green moss and algae washed up at the edge of the shore. You can see it moving as the water pushes it toward you with each wave. And as the sun sets further, you notice that the color of the clouds turn from a pink to an orange and almost golden as the sun descends into the ocean. You cast your eyes across the edges of the beach, and here you can see that there are shiny jewels which catch the light. You can see shells glistening in front of you, lighting up the shore. You think it might be a good idea to find some shells and collect them. They are hard to make out at first, but as the light shines onto them, you begin seeking shells that catch your eye. You slowly make your way toward the sea and the shore. You come across a flat stone with a smooth surface, and you find it has rounded edges, and you can see it's frosted. You place it gently into your pocket. You notice now that the moon is visible high in the sky. You make your way back to the path and find that the lights guide you home safely. Become aware of your breathing. Breathe slowly and gently. Breathe easily and freely. Feel your stomach rising gently as you breathe in and lowering gently as you breathe out. And when you are ready, I'd like you to bring your thoughts back into this room and begin to think about the movements your body has to make to get comfortable. And slowly, in your own time, you may open your eyes and begin to make those movements. You may want to have a good stretch and try to maintain this calm, relaxed feeling as you enter the rest of your evening. How are you all doing?
Well, B, I laid down in the wet sand on that side, and the side of my face is wet now. No, honestly, my head felt so heavy. It was crazy. My head was going, and I was trying to keep it up. And I thought, I might as well just lay down here. It felt like wet sand on my face. That was wonderful. Wonderful. How about
Thank
you, Winnie?
Yes, yes. Just reading the comments. No, I wasn't asleep. Just very relaxed. Just really nice.
I was in the moment. And you know what? I've just had the pleasure of booking some plane tickets, and I think I'm going to cancel them and just ask B to give us a shout now and then. It's a lot cheaper.
Anytime.
I was born in Cyprus, and I came to the UK when I was 18 months old. And I went back to Cyprus in 1994 for a fortnight's holiday. And I literally went back to Cyprus just then. I could smell the kebabs and I could hear the water breaking, and it was like, yeah, that was ace.
Thank you.
Well, we got another half an hour. Let's cancel the show and go back again.
I was just thinking, can you imagine if they had that instead of the news, or in the news, like during the news?
Yeah.
Like, when,
Yeah.
yeah, instead of the news, I think would be better. But
Mm.
the whole country would just. Yes.
Well, I've got to admit that was quite fascinating because, as some of you guys know, I started my adult life on my own in Gibraltar at the age of 18, 19, something like that. And my mind went back to that era, because what B was describing there, I remember years and years ago, sat on a rock. It wasn't sat on the bench like B described, but I was sat on a rock. And at that age, I was looking out to sea saying, why are you here? Very profound it was, you know, 3,500 miles away from where I was born on my own, saying, why are you here? And ever since then, it's been my second home, really. So did I ever find out why I was there? No, but I dare say we will next time we go out or whatever. But B, that was profound. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this again.
I'm hoping that the viewers managed to get the value of that as well. I can't see any reason why not. And like I said to Eric B, can you remind me, what are your planet coordinates and name? Can you tell the viewers, please? Because like I say, we always like to try and promote those members that take the effort to come onto our show and give it value. And there's no price on this value. There really isn't. So please, what is your planet name and coordinates?
Sure. My planet name is Mindsparks Nova, and it's 1636. And it's basically about bringing balance, looking at nature, being mindful, looking at relaxation, and just finding a peaceful place that you can go to, where we can work together to help our mental health, to just have that quiet in the day, just somewhere you can go for peace and serenity, really. So that's the hope for my planet. And I hopefully will have some audio and visual relaxation tracks on there that you can just listen to whenever you need to, with positive affirmations and breathing techniques and things like that, just to help, little things that can help in your day.
Well, what you've provided here for us this evening, B, is something wonderful. This is the 2D realm, the Web 2 version. And I've got to admit, I can't wait for the Web 3 version of B's, was it say, Mindsparks Nova, did you say?
That's right, yeah.
1636, your coordinates, yeah?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
I shall be traveling through the galaxy looking for that as soon as my space is open. And I would like to think many more will as well. So, Winnie, what do you think to that then? That was wonderful.
It was. That's right. The dog's woken up. I think the dog was very relaxed, but he was even more relaxed. Oh, he's got excited now. Yes, that was just blissful. Yes.
Yeah, just want to tell. I'm going to put this one on the screen. I can't help it. Chris puts, I've had a bad back all day. I feel a bit floaty. Wonderful. That works then. That worked. Okay, guys. Well, you know, it's come to that part of the show where we're going to have to love you and leave you. I mean, it's been an absolute cracker again. And after such a turbulent week, thank you, Sarah. After such a turbulent week, what a great way to end the week and go into the weekend. I can't think of a better way. And B, thank you so much for that.
Oh,
right, guys. We'll go through the usual agenda of going through our lovely guests and panel of giving a few words before we sign out for this evening. So if Winnie's ready and available, I don't know
Hang
what
on.
that noise is.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute myself because the phone.
Okay, Chris, would you like to give a few words before we end? Let Winnie answer a phone.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say tonight this week because I'm still a bit floaty. Yeah, I'm too chilled out to say out. Thanks for that, B. That was amazing. It's like I say, I was back on that beach in Cyprus, and I can I could hear the birds flying around, and I could see and hear the sea breaking, and like I said, I could smell kebab, so that must be really good. But no, that was really a good experience. And when we can get onto this finding your planet and that, and getting onto these little bits that you're doing, I'll be in there like a shot. Even Fred, oh, he's woke up now. Even Freddie was snoring in my ears when where's the dog snoring? Where's that? It was him snoring behind me. So he was obviously taking it in as well. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for everybody for being here this week and wishing me birthday greetings and stuff like that. Another year older, another year wiser. And hope your old man gets well soon, Winnie. We want to see him back up and about, running around.
Thank you. Yes. Back in the kitchen where he belongs. Cooking tea.
Winnie, what have you done wrong if your husband comes in from the kitchen?
What do you mean?
You made the chain to the sink too short.
Oh.
Okay, Winnie, go ahead with your last few words of the show, love.
Yeah. Well, I feel really energized by that, actually, although it's relaxing, but also very, energized. Thank you.
Excellent.
And refreshed.
Excellent.
It's the sea air, isn't it? And
yeah, for sure. And I'll just give a quick shout out to Maria. She said she's got to go shopping now. So thanks for joining us, Maria, and I'll speak with you soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that was lovely, Winnie. On to B now. There you go, B. Just a few last words before we close the show.
Oh, thank you so much for letting me come on here. And I love this community. It's so uplifting. It's just so positive, and we're all there for each other. I just wanted to close really by saying this virtual world that we've created is ours to shape. So we can literally make it whatever we want. And we have that power to work together and build this amazing place that we can all share. And I think that's the best thing about Web3 and this world that we're creating together. So I'm looking forward to my space and everything that brings. And thank you. Thank you for tonight.
Absolutely. And like I say, thank you, B. Well, guys, that's it for this week. It's been absolutely brilliant. We look forward to seeing you next week on Metaverse Masterminds. If anybody would like to appear on the show, please reach out to myself or Winnie. We will sort you out with a link that will give you access to the studio. You've seen how easy it is with B coming on board, with Eric and Trucker Fletch coming on board to chat to you guys. Anybody's more than welcome to come on and have their say. It's community driven. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you. It's a Friday. We're going into the weekend. Sunday evening training for those that come to the training. Other than that, take care for now. Be good, be safe, and look after yourself.
Be calm.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hugs.